Hello, today I'm going to show you how to replace motors and transmissions and also how to record a Hunter Douglas top-down, bottom-up duet honeycomb shade with LiteRise. You need some basic tools. You need a plier, you need a 7/64 Allen key, you need a lacing needle. If you don't have one, you could just use steel wires and make one. You need a scissor, a small flat head screwdriver, a number 2 Robertson drive, a hammer, and obviously cord. First, we need to remove the end cap on one side and slide the headrail open. As you see, we have 3 motors here. Hunter Douglas motors are color coded. It's important to understand that these are rotary spring mechanical motors. There's no electricity. And as you see here, if I could zoom, the transmission cord is also broken. And each side works completely independently. This is for the bottom up. The cord is broken and the shaft connects these motors to these cords. This spool here is connected to the other side's motor, which is in charge of the top down. We need to copy everything here and replace all the parts exactly as they are. So for the bottom up part of this shade, we need a beige motor, a black motor, and a gray motor. If you have the original purchase order number, you could contact any Hunter Douglas dealer and they should order the parts for you free of any charge. So now these don't have any tension. Since the cord is broken, we could easily remove them. To remove the motor and transmission assembly, you just lift up and they will release from the aluminum slat. Then you slide out of the shaft and it will come out. It's very important to remember that the adapter here is the only way to connect the transmission to the motors. So it's an important part. Just to remove the adapters for us, there's a tab here that you release, the tab at the bottom that you release here, and that's it. It gives you one of the adapters right here. There you go. And also there's another one on the other side that we will remove, and the tab here that we have to release. There we go. The new transmissions come with 2 stopping pins. We're going to remove the one on the bottom and we're going to add the adapter here. There we go. And we're going to start assembling the motors and transmissions all together. So this one goes in here. As you see, there are little grooves in here and they have to align, and that's it. Once it clicks, yep, it clicked. So this is now connected and secured in place, and now we could remove the motor stop, as you see, and then place the other motor. That is removing them. And the second one goes in there, tab clicks. A little bit tricky to get them in place right away. Yeah, clicked. Again, we could easily now remove this motor stop as well. And the last one. There we go. Okay. And then the final adapter here, we are going to reattach There we go. Yep. That's now we assembled our new motors and transmission and everything else ready to go. One more thing to mention is that, let's say you have an emergency and you want to reuse your motors. That can be done this way. We don't recommend reusing the motors, but if you want it, unclip the motors. And as I said, these are rotary spring motors. So what you do is you turn with a number 2 Robertson drive, you turn 42 complete counterclockwise rotations, and it will respring the motor for you. It's a lot easier to use an impact driver if you have access to one. Once you turn 42 wraps counterclockwise, you could place a motor lock and lock your motors, and it is now ready to be reused. There you go. Now that's the other side. I'm not going to repeat the whole process, but you exactly do the same thing, with one difference is that this transmission is functional. So you need to put a stop in the motors before removing it. You place the motor lock and it locks the motor in place, then you remove it. And that's the only difference between this side and the other side. And that's it. You lift up and you remove that side and slide it out of the shaft as well. Exactly the same way, rebuild the whole assembly as we did before. Now, in order to replace the cord, first we need to release the cord, and this at the other end you'll have to remove the motors and transmission, so it allows a little bit of space to push the shaft away. Once the shaft is away, out of your way, you could open this little gate here and it lets the spool free. Once the spool is out, you could just basically take the cord out and cut the end right there. The cord is free to go now. We'll do the same thing and remove these spool as well. Push the shaft backwards, remove these parts here, and that's it. Now, if you don't know the length of your cord, you just could copy this, but overall, the height of your shade written on the headrail here, you cut the cord to the height of your shade, which in this case is 71 inches, and you add 3 inches to it, so let's say 74. But you could copy exactly the length that you have. Now we removed all the cords in length, as I said, the height of the shade written on the headrail plus 3 inches, and that would be the cord that you need. In this application we need 8 cords. We completely removed all the components in the headrail, and that the shaft could come off completely. So in order to remove this spool, for example, we need to completely remove the shaft, and then place the cords in there and put them back, and we're gonna do that next. Now, as you see, we put the cords in all the spools except the last ones, so you could see. Basically what you do, you don't need a lacing needle in this part of the process, the upper part. So what you do is you basically push the cord through, if you hopefully can, and that's it. And if this is the white one, we'll try to align all the spools together. Like you see the slot here, all the slots should be aligned. We make a double overhead knot in here, the end, and we secure that. And you place the knot into this slot, and you place the slotted part into the closed side of the housing, and you push it back, and that is it. And you line up the spools together with the last one, and the shaft goes back, the V shaft, the groove goes right in, and now they're all aligned even if you move them. That's it. Now we are completely done with the headrail. We will next place the motors and transmissions in here and close the headrail, and we will continue with connecting the cords to the rest of the shape. Now we have the assembled motors and transmissions ready to go. Let's place them back. It's very easy. You push these two features into the holes on that aluminum slat, and they kind of click and secure in there. There you go. There you go. They're now secured. And then next step is the V shaft in place, and that is it. Now this part is completely secure. We're going to repeat the same process exactly the way we did it to the other side as well. Now when sliding back the headrail on, this metal slat is going to go into the design channel in the headrail. You see that channel is designed for the metal slat to go in there. Again, it's very important that this one goes into the right space, the right place. There we go. Slides in. So at this point, we're completely done with the headrail. The next step is placing back the end caps. And that would be temporary because one more time at the end, we'll need to remove the end caps and remove the motor locks. That would be the last step. And now the cords lined up to the bottom part. And we'll continue from that part. First, we are going to do the top-down part, which is easier to do first. And the first step is to remove the end caps. These could be a little bit tough to remove some of the times. You tap very slowly, come off. That's it, basically. There you go. And the end cap is off. And you slide that part open, and that will should expose the easy adjusters. Yes, so there are the easy adjuster. Because there was no cord, they got stuck in that bar. Yeah, and once it's removed, just slide them off the headrail. You might need to remove the pockets and ferrules because it needs space for the easy adjusters to be slided out of the bar. And there we have 4 of them. There we go. You now can slide those off the headrail. The other way. There you go. There we go. Okay. Now these are easy adjusters, and this allow for a little bit of adjustments in terms of height of your shade, and when the bottom or top bars are not level, you could use a 764 Allen key and adjust, or the easy adjuster that comes with your shade as well. It's the same size. But we are going to remove the cord from here and redo everything. In order to remove the cord, you'll have to align this pieces with the openings, with the notches, so the spool could come off. There we adjusted them, and you just try to push it from behind and it'll come off. There's that. And we will remove all the cords, and that is ready for the next step. We'll place the easy adjuster back in place and put it aside and do the same thing with the rest of them. Okay, now for the rest of the process, we put aside the cord that we don't need, the right side cord, and the left side cord is the one that we need at the moment for the top bar. And first we'll have to add a pocket and ferrule to the cord. And once we did that, we'll have to push this cord through the dedicated hole. And we know that because it's close to the adjusting opening, as you see. Then we will add the easy adjusters. There's a spout on top that we are going to push our cord through. Then we flip the easy adjuster and run the cord through that same hole, but come out of its immediate opening, not that same spout. Next, you run your cord through that bigger opening and go over the top of that and go run it again through that same opening to create a loop. Once you created that, you flip it, and the rest of the cord goes into this opening here all the way through. Once you did this, then you make a single overhead knot, so it will hold it in place and push it as much as you can to the edge. There we go. Once it is secure, you pull it and it clicks right into place. That's how it is done. Then just clockwise, turn it twice, so it will take up a little bit of cord. Once and twice. There, you're done with this easy adjuster. Now, once you've done that with the easy adjuster, you could either place it right now on top of here and ready for the headrail to be placed back in, or you could just slide them one by one back in there and secure them at place. Okay, now the top bar is ready to go. All the cords are in place and connected, and the last step is running the bottom bar cord through this hole, and that would basically be it. We will do almost the exact same thing that we did for the top bar. You just flip them over, remove the end cap, that's it, and slide the bar open, and it will expose again the easy adjusters. These are just the weights. The only difference that we have here is just we'll have to use the lacing needle to run the cord through that opening. That way, and then the second cord, we connect the second cord to the easy adjusters, and that's basically it. And since we went through the easy adjuster steps, I don't need to repeat that part again. So the cord is going to be run through this hole, and well, obviously we will have to add a pocket and ferrule to the cord before, and then we flip, and then we add the easy adjuster. And that would be it. This project is complete now. Finally, we will be removing the motor locks, and we will close the headrail. Before removing the motor locks, I would like to lock the cords with a hemostat. So once I remove the motor locks, I will have more control. There's that, and I have a pin here. I'll release the pin first. There's the pin gone. I'll release the motor stop. This is that part. On. Push that back. There we go. Place that back. Do the same thing to the other side. The other side pin removed. Slide the headrail back on. And then the motor stop. Release the motor stop. Yep. Put the end cap back on. And at this point, everything should work perfectly fine. I'm going to hold on to two of the cords, just so. There we go. Moment of truth. Yep. There we go. Done.